We're backing at him, guys, as some more streamers have talked about, of course, the upcoming Call of Duty, that being Black Ops 7. As the numbers keep on going up, so too the discussion between Call of Duty and, of course, the upcoming release of Battlefield 6. These two titans are going to go head-to-head. They're both going to make plenty of money, and you guys know we're going to see a lot of drama and discourse around these two games, and if one can take away from the other, but in reality, they're probably both going to do just fine. But I'm curious what all of you guys think as we slowly approach what's going to be a very crowded end of this year. It is actually someone like Nickmercs. In a recent YouTube video, he was having a long discussion around Call of Duty, the future of this franchise, and how this franchise, along with Activision, has completely sold out. This alongside a lot of discourse we've seen the last couple of months around the skins in Call of Duty. This, of course, contrasting a little bit from the skins we're likely to see in Battlefield. It was one of the first questions people asked Battlefield devs, if their skins are going to resemble those in Call of Duty, that over the last few years have strayed away from what might be typical Call of Duty skins. I think you guys know what I mean. And some of those skins are super cool. Some of them to me are a little dumb, but also you don't got to buy the skins. So I'm a little conflicted on how I feel about Call of Duty skins. But when you have so many skin bundles, I understand the sentiment of some COD fans of being like, okay, we get it. You guys are definitely making plenty of money. Something that Nickmercs obviously has taken issue with over the years.
The group of Call of Duty gamers this mad. That's what I think the contention is when we upload Call of Duty stuff right now. It's like, people are like, okay, cool. You know, it's the boys playing the BR and shit, playing COD. But they also want this thing to die or something. People want this thing to be dead.
And it's like, if you play the game and you like it, like, you don't want it to die. You want this game to do well just so other games can compete and do well also, and you have more than one thing to play. Like, it's stupid to think you want every game to die.
Nah, but that kumbaya shit is, that positive shit's cool on paper. But I mean, Gary, the truth is, man, is that Call of Duty has just been deteriorating as a franchise, as a company in Activision. You know, they've sold out. Yeah, they've sold out completely. Yeah. They've gone so far and away from everything that we fell in love with. They're just destroying the community with just $80 skins and bullshit. So that's why people want it to die. It's not because they just hate the game. They just hate who's in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you hit?
They want Activision to die.
Yeah.
they want Call of Duty.
Exactly. They want Call of Duty to live on, but they want Activision to go away.
And of course, Nickmercs and Call of Duty have had their beefs and their back and forth. We don't need to dive back into what has now been, almost probably so long, probably almost 2 years ago, his controversy with them ultimately ending in his skin being pulled from the Call of Duty store. Tim the Tatman even saying, hey, Call of Duty, pull my skin as well in support of his friend. It was one of the biggest things we've seen in a long time. So naturally, I think that probably brings a bit of disdain towards this relationship of Call of Duty and Nickmercs, but it doesn't take away from the truth about Call of Duty and what has seemingly become more and more of a monetized title as opposed to actually improving the base game. I think that's a fair statement. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. And around this same time, a lot of people talking about a different Call of Duty product that coincides with the main game release, that being the treatment of Warzone that we have seen really go downhill over the past year or so. You know, we recently talked about the World Series of Warzone. At the point of me originally announcing that project, they had no city announced, no live crowd. A lot of things that players in the Warzone scene were not really approving of, and the treatment of a title that once was a great battle royale on the esports side, it really has. It hasn't met the expectations and the potential that it truly could. And Battlefield also going to have a Battle Royale mode, so maybe those two are going to go head-to-head there. I'll be honest, I don't think Battlefield is trying to compete with a game like Warzone. It really depends how they treat that game mode. Will it be just a separate side mode? Will it be anything official on its own and able to stand on its own 2 feet, separate from the main game? We just don't know yet. I think people are just kind of desperate for a new Battle Royale that is somehow better than Call of Duty's Warzone, and it still might not be. We just don't know quite yet. So what do you guys think about Nickmercs' comments around the Call of Duty franchise, them selling out, and of course, them being at the peak height of players hating the game and wanting Call of Duty to fail? That's always going to be a thing, has been for quite some time, but it definitely has been apparent as of late as we slowly approach their new title as well. But until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. As per usual, we'll see you back here soon. Take care. We'll see you then.